the challenge kind of brought the best out of me.
You were saying well that you sound and you could delve into yourself like the period from The Distance From Here. Can you say what sort of period were you in personally back then and compare it to now? Because I think that was after the big success.
Sure.
So what?
I remember specifically around The Distance to Here feeling like the period leading up to there that, and actually feeling that way before Throwing Copper too, this sort of like blank slate, kind of like almost like a block. Like I don't think I really ever get writer's block, but you get like an interest block. Like you're not passionate, like you're not like there's something missing, like you got to change something to get that back, and you're not sure what that is. That was similar. Like this period, sort of the winding down of live and my interest in doing it that way, and then moving into this was sort of like a kind of about a year or so of, do I really want to do this anymore? What do I need to do as an artist to kind of get inspired again? And as soon as I decided to change it and to start, you know, and to approach it as a solo career, that's when the challenge kind of brought the best out of me. And I remember being sort of after, you know, Throwing Copper and Secret Samadhi, feeling that same kind of malaise about, you know, what to do next, and that was where the spark for, you know, Distance to Here kind of came out of that space. But it's a little scary because you don't know kind of what you're going to do, but I guess now it's a good thing, you know, when you see what happens after that.
You compared the Distance to Here period to now, and you also mentioned leading up to Throwing Copper, just to make it the whole story
Sure.
right. What did you do then before Throwing Copper, just to make you able
You know,
to
again, it's kind of
what
it was
sort
really,
of period were you in then?
again, a lot of anticipation, but yet a little bit of uncertainty about the way to sound, you know, what to do, sort of creatively, knowing that you don't want to repeat yourself, but at the same time wanting to do something great, and sort of that tension kind of creating the space where the music just starts to come out. And it's hard to put your finger on exactly what that is, but I think it's kind of like a void that needs to get there before something new, a new energy can come out.
So it took you now it took you more years than the first time, because first time you had between the two periods you had.
I hope it doesn't take as long next time.
7 years, and now you have
I know.
10 years.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't take as long next time. It
13
would be
years.
nice to have that happen every couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? Do you have an explanation that that you have to you have to work for you maybe in certain peaks and
You know, I wish I had a way of predicting it, but I think that's part of the essence of being an artist, is that you can't predict when that muse or that energy or that new inspiration is going to take hold of you, because there's so many factors that can limit it, that are more about you just growing as a person and getting experience that you didn't have before, or just I mean, I became a father in the last 7 or 8 years, which changed my personal life really profoundly and inspirationally. But nonetheless, it's a change that you go through, and all those things add up to, you zoom out over a career and you say, wow, there's that ebb and flow of interest, and then kind of you're getting settled too much or bored, and then all of a sudden it explodes again, and this is one of those explosions, I think.
Do you think it could have exploded again with live if they allowed you to do your own stuff?
Well, the interesting thing about live is that, as much as it was a band, I mean, I've always been the lyrical and lyricist and the melodist in live, and most of the music as well. So there really wasn't for me a dramatic shift from the live records to this record, because I was doing most of it anyway. So it really was an opportunity more than anything to experience what other people would bring to it musically, which would then inspire me in new ways, because it's not predictable. I didn't know what Rami Antoon would play on drums, and that was a scary but cool thing, that allowed me to then go, wow, I never thought about that transition that way, let me try this, or whatever. Same with James and Chris on bass. So getting back to your question, I mean, hypothetically, yeah. I mean, I've moved on so profoundly with this that I'm going to just focus on this for now.
No, it could be that maybe you were saying, well, if I hear you talking, then I think, well, for you, then maybe going back to life would mean go backwards. I don't know.
I think at this point, yeah, that's the way it would feel. I think at this point the creativity is flowering, and like we talked before, I would like to have that happen more often than to go back to any kind of period like maybe the first part of this decade where there was a couple records, or maybe that, you know, where I didn't have that inspiration. I'm pretty happy now, so I think this could be the beginning of well, no, I know it is the beginning of a lot of great new music.